What's up, guys? Hey, just wanted to address that last question. Very good question regarding doing squats and the progression to getting into that comfortably. First things first, for me anyway, the hardest aspect of getting the squat down for me was breaking the knee, okay, for an extended period of time. It's very normal when we're relearning how to walk, post TBI, post stroke. The left knee, or the affected knee rather, left for me, might be right for you, is locked out. Okay, we got the AFO, and so we got this stiff leg we have to swing around, right, when we're walking. And so the hardest thing for me after doing that for months, better part of 6 months, was getting that knee to break. And that's just a matter of trial and error and a lot of rehab and practice. I did a lot of different things to get that knee to unlock. Okay, just simply sort of leaning into that affected leg and shifting your weight into the front of your foot and getting it to bend gracefully, okay? This is how I began to kind of do it. At first, it would snap and snap back and snap, break the lock, and then it would snap back into that lock form. It was really rigid and hard to break that habit. It's just a matter of the muscle atrophy and the knee just being really accustomed to being locked in place. So breaking that locked form is not easy to do. So I became really obsessed with, the squats. So the progression of the squat, jump into that. For me, I'll do it from the side here. Doesn't take much at first, okay? It can just be as simple as to here and then back up. But I think it's really important to get back into the locked motion of the knee and then figure out how, really pay attention to how it feels. Figure out how to shift the weight back into the front of the foot. It's hard to do because we don't trust that affected foot yet. So there's a hesitancy to not only bear weight on it and trust it, but to get the knee to eventually break and come down gracefully and then back up. Okay, and then as this progresses, obviously, you can come down further and further and further till we do a past 90 squat. So if you want to get past 90 and get your glutes below the knee, it's hard to do at first. And another really important aspect is you're going to want to favor the non-affected side. So you'll notice with your right side affected or left side affected, whichever side is not affected, you're going to be kind of favoring that side more. So you want to just, that's why I'm a huge fan of it. I call it the beach ball technique, right? So if it's hard for you to lock your fingers or lace them rather, at first, that's no big deal. Hold your affected hand, but this is a good practice as well. You don't want your affected arm kind of the tone kicking in. It can throw your balance off. So I like to kind of get it positioned, locked in place. Okay, and come down and back up. And again, you don't have to come as deep as I'm doing right now. This took me a while to get to here. Just start from here. Let's say your knee's locked out. You kind of bend slowly like this. Okay? And then get to the point and just work your way down. Come to 90. It's nice to hold it. Do an air chair. Okay, so I'm just holding my weight up. Okay, you don't have to do this what I'm doing. I'm just saying that it helped for me. You want to be mindful of where your affected arm is in space because that's going to dictate, your balance. Then it dawned on me. I remembered, you're probably all familiar with this device here. Probably seen this in rehab facilities a time or two. Went on Amazon. Turns out they're really cheap. Got this for like 29 bucks. And as you can see here, there are 4 different slots. And that's going to dictate, obviously, the degree of the slope. So this is another really great tool, not only for stretching out the calf, right? So get your affected leg up on here, get up, get a good calf stretch, hamstring. Okay, but the other, of course, use a cane or something to hang on to if your balance is still compromised. But the other great thing about this, and here I'll grab my handy dandy pole here, right? So these are great too, wooden dowels. You guys know I'm a huge fan of this for all kinds of different exercises, but that's not what this is about. Use something like this just to hold your balance if you need, okay? Something to kind of brace you. Okay, and get a nice calf stretch. And this is the lowest slope right now, so it's not even really that aggressive, but again, of course, you can change the degree of the slope. But if you want to advance your squats and really work on knee strength, I noticed that the more I was doing this, your knees do feel it. They're gonna get a little bit of extra wear and tear. You might feel a little bit of subtle pain, so be mindful of that. But a really great way to strengthen the knee and all the tendons in the front of the knee is to stand on this, okay, facing forward. Now, your feet are a lot closer together, but this is a great way to kind of strengthen your knee and also work on your balance. So this takes quite a bit of balance, okay, but it's nice to be able to get down this low, and it just adds a little bit of extra strength in the front of the knees. So this thing's really sweet. I just got this, and it's just a great way. And again, be really mindful of not pushing off your non-affected side too aggressively. You want to really make sure that you're evenly distributing the weight onto your affected foot, okay? If you don't want to lace your fingers or you're worried about your balance, this is great too, just to kind of maintain balance. Kind of feels like you're holding on to a surface, like a hard surface that's stable, but it's not. You're doing all the work. Okay, so this is just some of the tools that I've done, guys. It's gotten me to where I am today. So this is just my style and progression of getting your squats back, breaking the knee, getting rid of that locked form if you're dealing with that. But a lot of different things you can do, guys, and have fun with it. Play with it, as frustrating as it all is. I just really fell in love with my injury. I know that sounds cheesy, but the more that I got frustrated with myself and started really kind of getting pissed, is when I started feeling that plateau and that slowdown of progression. I don't believe in plateaus, but it definitely starts up here. So take it easy on yourself, be patient, and play with it. This is the stuff that works for me. There's a good chance it'll work for you too, but I'm not here to tell you, it's not so black and white. Play with it, have fun with it, and most of all, just really pay attention to also where your weight is distributed in your affected foot. You don't want to be, a lot of times we're supinated in that affected foot, so don't let your ankle roll out or in. Okay, pronation, supination is all a very common side effect. So you want to make sure you're not putting too much weight on the outside of your affected foot while you're doing these squats, okay? You want to make sure that you're nice and even, okay? And if you're not, you'll feel it, but make sure you're not pushing off that non-affected side and over favoring it, because that's just it's not gonna do any good. It's gonna throw your balance off and you're gonna redevelop the muscles unevenly. So this is all just about form. You know, reps are good, but you don't need to like over focus on, oh, I gotta do 100 of these or even 30 or 50 of these. Just start small and really focus on your form. Start with 5 and just see how it goes. Really, really be mindful of your balance and how you're pushing off that affected foot. It's extremely important. But anyway, guys, that's my tip for today. Rain's starting to come down pretty hard, and I'm gonna go ahead and get after it. finish up my workout. I hope this helps. Hope that answers the question for you out there who, person who asked that question. All right, guys. Hope you're having a good one. Stay strong. We'll see you next time. Cheers.